canvass the returns. So I will read that information to you and ask you in a moment to declare that the results of the election. We can talk about the process if you'd like. This is the first time the town has had an election that was a part of the supervisor election process and not something that was our own separate election. We've had special elections that were, but this is the first time, as Vicki tells me, that it has been this way. So the process, and it has always been this process, is that we will today certify the election results that are delivered to us. The canvassing process continues through the 14th, where they count the provisional ballots and otherwise, and they then on the 14th certify to the Secretary of State, who then takes her actions or his actions, I'm not sure, and it becomes the official result sometime a month or so from now. But for our purposes, Vicki advises us, Ms. Davis, the Supervisor of Elections, that she's confident that our results today are reliable, and in the event of something odd happening, we could revisit it, but it's almost impossible to imagine that such a thing would happen. So our charter requires this meeting, which happens actually a little before the formal statewide process is complete. So that's why we're doing this today. So I just wanted to put that out there for people who are pay attention to those kind of minutiae. But before I read the canvass, the election results, I wanted to note on the record that flowers were delivered today and will be provided, we will deliver them to Mayor Busha today. And they came with a very nice letter that I wanted to read into the record just to thank her for her years of tireless service. And it reads, Mayor Busha, we have been most impressed by your dedication, your hard work, your voice of reason, and your intelligence in bringing solutions to hard issues facing Sewalls Point. Please accept our heartfelt gratitude and thanks in everything you have done. You have certainly joined the ranks of the best mayors in Sewalls Point, and it's thank you from the residents of the town of Sewalls Point. So these flowers will be delivered to her today. She had a family emergency that kept her from being present, but we'll be sure she gets these. So I wanted to put that in the record.
Before we go to the canvassing, I think we need to get approval of the agenda.
We jumped, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously.
So now I will report the election results. There are 1,717 registered voters in the town of Sewalls Point. 1,181 votes were cast in the election that closed last evening. And the results of that election are as follows. Pamela M. Busha received 541 votes for 28.79% of the total. James W. Campo received 757 votes for 40.29% of the total. And Dan Morris received 581 votes for 30.92% of the total, making the two highest vote getters, which is what our charter calls for, James W. Campo and Dan Morris. So I'd ask Mr. Mayor for a motion declaring that to be the results of the election.
Right. So is there a motion to declare the results appropriate?
I'll make a motion to declare the results appropriate.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passes unanimously.
So with your permission, I'll ask alphabetically the two winners to come to this podium where our town clerk will administer the oath of office. We have also a certificate of election that is called for in our code that we will get today, and we'll ask you to sign the oath of office. So if James Campo would please come to the podium, our town clerk, Lakeisha Birch, will administer the oath. And we'll have you come there so we can get you on the microphone.
You can raise your right hand. James W. Campo,
I, James W. Campo,
a citizen of the state of Florida
a citizen of the state of Florida
and of the United States of America,
and of the United States of America,
an officer of the town of Sewalls Point, Florida,
an officer of the town of Sewalls Point, Florida,
and a recipient of public funds,
and a recipient of public funds,
as such employee of officer,
as such employee of officer,
do hereby solemnly swear
do here solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Florida.
and the state of Florida.
Funds, but hopefully pass through by your vote.